Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about Canada and some of the things that are going on there. In their last election, Justin Trudeau is out as Prime Minister in Canada, and a man by the name of Mark Carney is now the Prime Minister there. Now, he ran as a conservative. However, he is a central banker, and he's kind of in the same order as some of the Republicans are here in the United States. The Democrats put low-level Democrats into different positions to run as Republicans. The news media would brag them up and so on, and they would get selected as Republicans. Well, they're Republican in name only, but they're actually Democrats, and that's why most of the time they're against Donald Trump, or they're against certain things that the Republican Party does, and they tend to vote oftentimes with the Democrats. Same thing. Mark Carney, central banker, very liberal man, a globalist in his own right, and has decided that he is going to take the Canadian government as far to the left as he possibly can. So he gets sworn in on March 15th of this year, literally last month, about 3 weeks ago, and decides that he's not going to cooperate with President Trump. Well, President Trump congratulates him and starts talking about the border and securing the border from the Canadian side, and talking about the fentanyl that's coming across and the sex trafficking that's coming across and the illegal aliens that are criminals that are coming across. And all of this stuff, Carney is saying, no, none of that's happening, and we're not going to do anything about the border. Well, so President Trump says, well, in that case, we're going to impose a 25% tariff starting on April 2nd, and that's what you'll be dealing with until you decide to secure your side of the border. Well, in the meantime, President Trump went ahead and brought more people to the border to protect the border. And then he realized that he wasn't going to get any cooperation from Carney. So he started talking to other countries, knowing what kind of products that were coming from Canada. He said, well, we're going to go ahead and get these products from other countries. So he went ahead and he made some preliminary deals. So now on April 2nd, Carney did exactly what he said he was going to do. We're not sending anything else to the United States. We're cutting you off. Well, here's the situation. 77% of the exports from Canada go to the United States. Now, all it is just go right across the border, boom, and you're in. 18% of what the United States sends out goes to Canada. Well, now they're not accepting any of our products, and they will refuse to send their products to us. That's well and fine. President Trump went ahead, signed those agreements with the other countries so that all of the things that Canada was supplying still coming to the United States. And in the meantime, he was able to get some deals put together where things that would typically go to Canada were now going to other countries. And so it was all well and fine. There wasn't any problem on the U.S. side. Well, Carney decided that he was going to go ahead and start selling that 77% products to other countries. Well, first of all, he had to deal with something called tariffs that the other countries wanted to charge. Then he had to deal to get the products into the shipping lanes. It was going to be quite expensive. So now all of a sudden he is paying a lot more than the 25% tariffs to try to get his products to other countries. Unfortunately, there's another problem even worse than that. Most of the countries out there already get a lot of the things that Canada likes to sell from other places. So there is no way that he's going to be able to sell the products that he needs to sell to keep his businesses going. So now all of a sudden the businesses are starting to cut jobs. But it even gets worse. The fentanyl that was supposed to come to the United States, which can no longer get through the border, is being sold now in Canada to what few people can afford it. The illegal aliens are now starting to cause problems in the communities where they happen to be stuck. They can't get into the U.S., and so now they're starting to cause problems in Canada. So now he's got a problem with crime increasing exponentially. He can't sell the products. The companies in Canada are starting to lay off, and many of those companies, if this doesn't straighten out, are going to wind up completely out of business. And then there will not be jobs for the Canadian families. I wouldn't want to be a Canadian family. If you think about it, Canada is one of the colder countries in the world. Now you get into October, November, December, and so on, and you don't have any money because you don't have a job to go to, and you need to heat your home. So what is happening? There is a mass exodus in Canada. People are wanting to get citizenship and move to the United States. And in some of the provinces that is happening. But there are 4 provinces, and I believe they're the ones that are in the West, that are asking the United States to give them, as a province, citizenship so that they can become a part of the United States. Now, we did talk about this on an earlier video. It was the video that I called 59 States. And in that video, we did talk about the 4 provinces that are wanting to become part of the U.S. Actually, the problem is worse than that. Most of the provinces in Canada want to become a part of the U.S. But we've been hearing about this for a number of years, but it is quickly now under Carney. It's getting much, much worse. And these people are going to have to do something because they will not be able to heat their homes come wintertime if things don't change drastically. We as American citizens need to be praying for the Canadian people because right now they are in a desperate situation. And it's going to get to a point where they don't have jobs. They're not going to have heating fuel for their homes. And they're either going to have to migrate to the United States and become citizens here, or it's very possible that some of the families that can't make it here could begin to get real cold and possibly freeze to death. So we really, really need to pray for Canada. We need to pray for the citizens. And we also need to pray that people like Mark Carney will be taken out of office and not be allowed to do the kinds of things that he is doing to Canada right now. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Please remember to give us a like, to subscribe, to use the bell icon so that you won't miss our videos, and to share our videos with people that you know, friends, family, fellow workers, whoever. But most important, you have a good day. Good day.